No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
He either punched my nephew in his lip or threw something at my nephew.
I wasn't in the room with him when he got hurt.
Did you hit him in the mouth?
No, I didn't, sir. I saw blood. Got scared and I panicked.
You did it! You did it! You crazy! He gets so mad, one day he punched the wall. His whole arm was broken because he got mad at me.
But I'm not like that.
Are you crazy? What are you? I don't think that he will pass. He told me that he did it.
Russell wants to put his family back together, but his ex, Stephanie, says he's abusive to her and their children. And to make matters worse, Stephanie's sisters, Nicole and Bridget, believe Russell is responsible for the deaths of their children. You see, on February 23, 2005, a fire broke out in the apartment where they all were living. Russell was the only adult home, and tragically, Bridget's son and Nicole's 2 children were killed. Take a look.
Firefighters from 8 different departments, mostly volunteers, answered the call that came just after midnight. But the blaze that burned in this old second-story apartment on Milroy's Main Street proved too big a battle. With children trapped inside, heavy smoke, intense heat, and a structurally unsound building doomed efforts from the start. By late Wednesday morning, rescue efforts turned to recovery of the remains of 3 young victims. 6 firefighters made their way back into the building, burned so badly officials say it's difficult to determine where the blaze started. It took more than 2 hours to recover those lost. Now investigators search for a cause.
Heat so intense, investigators say it melted a steel support beam. The 27-year-old mother saved 3 children, including one of her own, 4-year-old. Her 2-year-old son died, along with her nephews, 6-year-old Jacob and 2-year-old Joshua.
I believe Russell is a murderer. I believe he left our babies to die, so therefore he is a baby killer. I just stood there and I heard a fireman. He hollered at me. He's like, Bridget, are you in there? And I said, yeah. He said, you got to come out. And I said, no, I got to get my babies out of here. And he said, you got to get out of there. She tried to get back in to get them, but she tried to kill herself to do it. And so my nephew hadn't made it out, but he was in pretty bad shape. They took him to the hospital. They had to cut him from his chest to his belly button. They had to pull all of his intestines out because he was so hot he was ready to combust.
Russell had to walk by our kids twice to get to his kids, to get them out. And how he could walk by them and not try to wake them up or, try to get them out in some way. My oldest son was old enough he could have helped.
My son had also told me that night that he tried to tell me that he made it outside by himself. And I told him, I said, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You had help. And he's like, no, Mommy, I went down the stairs, but I couldn't get the door open. So I went back in. And I tried to save my brother, but it was too heavy, and I fell on my butt twice. My son was more of a man than this man was.
Not a minute goes by I don't think about my kids. I still celebrate their birthdays. In order to do that, I usually send a balloon up in the air to tell them happy birthday. It's not the same, Russell and Stephanie were lucky enough to have their children survive. And now he's treating them like they're dirt under his feet.
Russell is a monster. I have heard him call his kids little bastards. I have seen him hit them. I have seen him knock his youngest one down. I've seen him bloody his other son's lip.
A week ago, there was an incident where he had kicked my nephew and left a huge bruise. They have pictures and everything to prove that.
I just wish that Stephanie would listen to her sisters because we love her. And I know she can do better, and her kids deserve better.
Stephanie, you have your family behind you. We need you to leave him alone. Just get away from him. We will help you with anything you need. Your kids deserve a better life than that, and so do you.
I need the closure. I need the truth, and I need my sister to hear the truth because she wasn't there. And she has taken every word that he says to her that he really tried, and he didn't. All I've ever asked is please tell me what happened while I was not there, and he can't tell me.
I want to know, did Russell do everything in his power to get my kids out and my sister's kids out? And I want to know, is my sister done with him for good?
I have Nicole and Bridget here, and first of all, I want to say how sorry I am that you lost children in this horrific tragedy. You lost 2 children. You lost one, and you saved one. And you went into the fire, which had to be an incredibly physically hard thing to do. And you suffered burns, I understand?
Yeah. I actually went in twice. My fuse had blew on my water heater, so I didn't have hot water. And all the kids were laying in the same room, probably like this area right here. And I told Russell, I said, watch the kids, I'm going to run down to the neighbors and I'm going to take a shower. I said, give me 15 minutes. So I went down and I took my shower. I was getting dressed. I walked over to get my shoes and I heard this horrible banging on the door. And so I went over and I answered it. And it was him standing there with 2 of his kids in his arms. And he said the house is on fire and the kids are in there.
You get this miracle handed to you that you were able to save your children, but now you're being accused of abusing them.
I busted his mouth. Heck yeah, I did.
You split his lip, made his nose bleed.
Beating up little kids.
He either punched my nephew in his lip or threw something at my nephew.
Did you hit him in the mouth?
No, I didn't, sir.
You did it! You did it! You crazy!
But now you're being accused of abusing them.
I busted his mouth. Heck yeah, I did.
You split his lip, made his nose bleed.
Then I heard this horrible banging on the door. And so I went over and I answered it. And it was him standing there with 2 of his kids in his arms. And he said the house is on fire and the kids are in there. So I took off.
He has his 2 children while your 4 are still in there.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And he had to, in order to get his children out, he had to walk by our children twice. Once to get to them and once to get out of the apartment. And he didn't try to wake them up, didn't kick them, nothing, just left them.
How old were your children?
My oldest was 6 and my youngest was 2.
And how old, you lost one child. How old was that child?
2 years and 2 months old.
And you saved the 2-month-old?
He was 3 years old.
You saved the 3-year-old. But your sister then stays with this guy.
To even stay with a guy that you would even think that could leave a child in a burning building like that is just morbid and just sick.
It hurts. It makes me more hurt than angry at her. It's like, how could you?
So you want some answers from Russell. How about the fact that you say that he's lucky enough to have his children live through this and then turn around and abuse them?
Yes, he should feel blessed. He gets to keep hearing daddy, and he gets to have grandbabies, and that's something that was taken away from me.
All right. We're going to bring Russell out. Let's bring Russell out.
This is crazy. I didn't murder your kids, man. I took care of your kids when you guys went
You murdered them. You took care of them. Congratulations. You left them sick.
door off the hinges, didn't
Why
I?
did you shut the door? The doors were shut.
I kicked the neighbor's door off the hinges.
I kicked the door off,
You
and
went
not
to take
you.
a shower. You went to take a shower,
No, you
right?
shut the door.
What you made
You
him
went
to
to
be
take
on
a
for
shower,
once.
right? It's
I
just
was
5
there
hours.
freaking 20 minutes, Russell.
He was
you
on
know
the
what?
phone
Find out
before you
today.
went
You
up
want to
there.
find out today?
Yeah, we will
We
when this
will.
polygraph comes back.
Okay, that's right.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
I have a
Let's
question.
do this.
I do have a question to ask.
I'm ready.
You were left in charge of how many kids?
There was my 2 and their kids. There was
6.
Yeah.
Okay. You were able to get your 2 children out.
right.
You run and you go get her, right?
Right.
She then manages to go back to the apartment and save one of her children.
Well, see, it was all a bunch of lies.
Is that a lie, that what I just said?
Yeah,
What happened?
I woke up to this burning fire.
What is a lie? She was able to save one of her children, right?
Exactly.
So what is a lie?
But I didn't run to get her. I didn't even know there was anybody in the fire when it broke out.
You didn't know our kids were there too?
You were supposed to be there at like 10 or 11 to get your
It
kids.
don't matter. I was there, and I told you 15 minutes, Russell. Give
Well,
me
I
15
went to bed.
minutes.
What am I supposed to wake
You
up
were
to?
sitting up watching TV, dumbass.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What
Really?
time?
Okay.
What time of day was this?
Was at night.
What time?
Like 9, 10
Until
o'clock.
midnight, because I looked before I walked out the door.
You know, when I worked, I was...
You didn't realize you were the only
You didn't
adult
work.
in an apartment with 6 kids?
Yeah, I know I was, but she was...
So I'm asking, listen, I'm not going to judge you because I don't know all the circumstances.
Right.
How were you only able to save 2 children and not the other 4?
I woke up and I grabbed my kids out of there. I ran to the back door because there was one.
Why wouldn't you grab the other 4?
I started yelling through the house and nobody answered me.
But they're little kids. At midnight, they're going to be sleeping.
But what I'm trying to say is that she was supposed to have been at the show.
But the point is, you know that she's not. You know there's a fire. You know there's 4 other kids in there. You know they're little tiny kids that at midnight
I didn't realize she hadn't been there to get her kids
What
yet.
about Bridget's kids? Okay, you want to throw that? All right, that's fine. What about her kids?
I started yelling for people in the house.
You had to walk by every one of our kids, Russell, twice to get yours.
You wasn't there. You don't know what
I know where they were sleeping.
I'm the one that was there.
I know where they were sleeping because they were
You're
sleeping
right.
when
You
I
were the one that was there.
Yeah, I was the
we
one
left
where-
them in your care.
We'll see when this polygraph comes back.
My son, at 3 years old, told me, and out of your own mouth you said, I heard one of the kids hollering, help me, Uncle Russell, right?
When I was going out the back
Right.
door.
That was my
That's
son.
why the neighbor's
No,
door in.
that was my son.
That's
and you
why I kicked
tripped
the neighbor's
and woke
door
up.
in.
That was my son.
No,
You tripped
I
and
didn't
woke up.
trip
That's
over
why he
nobody.
lived.
You did hear
nobody.
somebody say, help me, Uncle Russell?
Yeah, because it was at the. There was
was
only
my
one
son,
entrance
you
into this
tripped and woke
building.
up.
Right. And
When
so when you heard a child calling for you, what did you do?
I ran down the steps and took my daughter. The neighbor only lived like 20 feet from us.
Sorry,
His
you're
front
straight
door.
on.
Both doors.
Okay, I want to hear him answer this. I want to hear him this.
You're crazy.
Just answer the question. So you hear your nephew calling for you, and you did what?
I ran down the steps with my 2-month-old baby girl and took my son down there, kicked the neighbor's door in, which was 20 feet in front of the
Okay,
house.
right.
And said, the house is on fire, the house is on fire. And they took off like a bullet, him and her. You know?
Why didn't you go back up and get
I
him?
was going back up, but I was right behind, matter of fact. And he told me, don't. Go next door and get help. So I went across the street and was kicking their door
liar,
in,
liar,
literally.
liar,
and it's
liar.
in a report, too.
Baby killer, you're a liar.
Whatever.
Everything you have just said is a
Whatever.
lie.
It ain't no damn lie.
Now,
Yeah, it is.
You're,
No,
also,
it ain't.
you're also here because, fortunately, your children made it through this fire.
Right.
But now you're being accused of abusing them.
I don't
Are you
abuse my
abusing your
kids,
children?
no.
Yeah, you do.
You didn't bust your oldest son's
Steve.
mouth. Really?
Yeah,
Are you-
yeah, I did.
are
I
you-
busted
Okay,
his
is that
mouth.
not abuse?
He stood up and called me a son of a bitch, Steve.
Because you let him cuss and you let him
I
do something
busted
like
his
that.
mouth. Heck yeah, I did.
You punched him in the mouth?
I didn't punch him. I smacked him in his mouth and
To
it
make
started
his lip
bleeding.
bleed,
And
you
how,
split his
how
lip.
old is he?
He's 10 years old.
You split his lip, made his nose bleed.
And my 5-year-old comes to me and says, why didn't you help me when Daddy kicked me in the leg?
You get this miracle handed to you that you were able to save your children, but now you're kicking a 5-year-old.
He either punched my nephew in his lip or threw something at my nephew.
Did you hit him in the mouth?
No, I didn't, sir.
Did you knowingly allow your girlfriend's sister's children to remain in the house during the fire in 2005? He answered no. Yeah, they're a little angry at you because your kids are alive and their kids are dead.
Right.
Why did you shut the doors behind you?
I didn't
Why
shut the doors.
I
Nobody-
kicked him in.
Nobody.
Oh, you did.
You felt like you did everything you could.
Yes, I did.
Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask everybody to clear the stage, and I'm going to talk to Stephanie, and then we'll get to these results. Let's bring out Stephanie. How you doing, Stephanie?
I'm all right.
What's disturbing in this story, and it's getting like just going over and over in my head, is the nephew calling out to Russell, Uncle Russell, help me. And he didn't turn around and go back and get the voice, the little boy. He just continued down the stairs. And the little boy hoping that, please, somebody help me.
Right.
Do you think he's responsible for the deaths?
I don't.
Even though maybe nobody's at fault, there's hard feelings here.
Right.
People are like, hey, your kids are alive, my kids are dead. And these are your sisters.
I'd have burned out trying to get him out, but I wasn't there.
You've stayed with Russell.
I have, and I admit to it. I was an idiot for it. I've dealt with a lot of things. I mean, we've been together for 13 years. We got 4 kids together.
Does Russell abuse your kids?
He has, yes.
And, okay, and let's say Russell did everything he could or everything that he was capable of during that fire. Let's put that aside. But you have this miracle that you were able to save your children, and then you abuse them. Why in the world would he do that?
I ask him the same thing, and I don't know. I don't understand it.
Why do you stay with them?
I try to hope he's going to change, but it just...
You hope he's going to change?
I try to, but it don't work.
What kind of abuse does he do to the kids?
A week ago, I had laid down with a migraine. And my 5-year-old comes to me and says, Mommy, why didn't you help me when Daddy kicked me in the leg? And I said...
This is a 5-year-old?
Yes. And I said, well, what is going on? Russell said, well, he was messing with the pumpkins. I told him to stop. He didn't do it. So I spanked him.
Halloween pumpkins, right?
Right.
Russell kicked your son in the leg because he was playing with Halloween pumpkins?
Yes. And a month before that...
Did you call the police?
Yes, I did. So I left. I asked him, I said, can you take me and my kids to the jail until a family member comes and gets us? Yeah, sure. So me and my kids left, and we're with my aunt now.
Are you not with Russell?
No.
You don't live together?
No.
He wants you back?
Right.
And your response to that is?
No, because he's never going to change. He calls the kids names. I mean...
He calls your kids... Let's bring your sisters back up.
Stephanie, I would give my life for you and them kids. You know what I about did for ours. I'd give anything to have you and the kids with us.
No, we're behind you no matter what. We're here to help you. We just wanted to have answers. Can you understand that?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
We don't want to happen to your kids.
Okay. Yes, we don't want that to happen to your kids.
It ain't no more.
Good. So you're done with it? You're never going back, right?
No,
never.
I've told you guys that.
Let's bring out Russell.
Stephanie, what's going on? This is crazy, man.
What's up?
You know everything that's went on. What?
Okay.
I know, but
you know what? I have a question to ask. Why did you kick a 5-year-old boy in the leg?
I didn't kick him. And
She's saying you did.
She was asleep.
Oh, so she's lying?
Yep.
Your boy's lying?
I did not kick him.
Your boy's lying?
I nudged him with my foot.
You nudged him with
after
your
I
foot.
busted his ass, yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I
you
did.
know,
Why do you talk to him the way you do?
Do you call your kids?
I have, yeah. When they
Hold on. I see, and I get mad at my kids too. I would never, in a million years, call my children names. Why wouldn't I do that? Because they're my children. And it's up to me to raise them, to guide them, to teach them right from wrong. And I don't know how much my kids would think of me if I'm saying... So if I'm capable and I have enough understanding in my brain that I'm not going to do that to my children, how come you don't think that way?
That's why I'm here, Steve. That's why I'm here.
You know what?
Well, hold on. You're here for what?
To get help with that.
To get help.
Yeah.
You need help not to call your children names? What? How am I going to help you with that?
You just don't understand, Steve.
I don't understand. You're admitting that you do it.
Yeah, I have.
You know what? There's some kids dead up here, which is just, total tragedy. And then the kids that are fortunate enough to get through it, they got a father that abuses them both physically and verbally and probably mentally. The fact of it is, no matter what these results are, the little boy's voice probably haunts you every day of your life. Help me, Uncle Russell. Help me, Uncle Russell. But the fact is, no matter what happens on this stage, you're just a bad guy. You're just a bad dad. That's what you are. I'll say this. I'm glad you're not my neighbor. Russell, you came here and we asked, did you knowingly allow your girlfriend's sister's children to remain in the house during the fire in 2005? He answered no. Beating up little kids.
He either punched my nephew in his lip or threw something at my nephew.
Did you hit him in the mouth?
No, I didn't, sir.
You did it! You did it! You crazy!
Did you knowingly allow your girlfriend's sister's children to remain in the house during the fire in 2005? He answered no, and he told the truth.
Exactly. I love them kids, man. We took care of them kids, didn't we?
And now look how you're taking care of your kids now.
I don't beat my kids, man.
You bust them in the mouth.
Yeah, because he stood up and called me a son of a bitch.
How about the kid playing with the pumpkins?
He was picking them up and dropping them, picking them up and dropping them.
It's a pumpkin. But let's find out about this. Did you hit your son in the car last month with excessive force to shut him up? And he said, yeah, he did. Do you discipline your children to intentionally hurt them? And what did you answer?
No.
You said yes. You confessed. You did. Is this a lie? Yeah, you said yes, right?
Let's go on.
All right. Did you kick your son with excessive force last week? What'd you say?
No.
No. And it came back that you didn't tell the truth.
Okay.
You're a real tough guy, huh? Daddy's really wearing a belt. Daddy knows how to dish out discipline. Yeah, this is crazy. This whole story is crazy. Hold on. You get this miracle handed to you that you were able to save your children. And then what do? You bust them in the mouth, call them all kind of names, and kicking a 5-year-old. I wouldn't even kick a dog, and you're kicking your own child. The greatest thing about doing the show is I get answers from people, I get to expose people, and I don't have to expose you. Your own answers, the way you talk, the way you treat your wife, the way you treat your kids, you expose yourself. And I hope everybody back home from where you are sees you and just feels the same way I do. Man, I'm glad that guy's not my neighbor. Because you certainly wouldn't be kicking my doors down trying to save my kids. Get the hell off my stage. So the two sisters that lost children in that fire, I hope it helps in some way that you know that maybe he didn't intentionally just leave your kids there. But the truth of it is, I believe when you lose a child, nothing's ever going to make you feel better. You got to go on with your life.
No, we
you
can
got to
let it
enjoy it. You have to take care of the kids that you do have. But I hope that you're able to go on and find comfort in your family and each other and love each other. For the two sisters, I'm going to ask you to leave this stage. Thank you for coming on. No need to sit down. Show's over. Picador time, right? And I could be wrong, and I'm sorry if I am, but I think you're going to go back. No. I'm just telling you. I think eventually Russell's going to come and do something, and I love you, and you're going to go back, and your kids are going to pay the price for it. But this is Picador time, and I do like to see you're showing the world, you're showing the people back where your home is. What are you going to do? You're going to go back to Russell? Or are you walking out that door and say, you are never going to touch my kids again?
That's exactly what I'm...
Well, let's see. Beating up little kids.
He either punched my nephew in his lip or threw something at my nephew.
Did you hit him in the mouth?
No, I didn't, sir.
You did it! You did it! You crazy! He gets so mad, one day he punched the wall. His whole arm was broken because he got mad at me.
But I'm not like that.
Are you crazy? What is that? I don't think that he will pass. He told me that he did it.
Tatiana believes her 2-year-old nephew was abused, and she's accusing her sister's ex-fiancé, Chris. Chris admits that he may have hurt the boy by accident, but says he's not an abuser. But Tatiana says that Chris confessed to hitting the boy in the mouth, and she's here for answers. Take a look.
I'm here to prove to my ex-fiancée, Tina, I did not abuse her son. I accidentally busted his lip while he was throwing a tantrum, and I take full responsibility of it. The second incident, when he was in my care, I had nothing to do with it. I explained to her that her son and little brother was playing in the room while a box break fell on him, but she believed that I punched him in the mouth. Because of this, we no longer had no relationship. We haven't been together for 2 years, but I still come around to take care of her younger son, the one that calls me daddy. Ever since we broke up, I've been trying to get back with her. I begged, I pleaded, I cried, but she still, in the back of her head, felt like I punched her son in the mouth. I'm still in love with Tina, unconditionally. I can't live without her. I would never do nothing to harm her son and her younger son. I would still love to be in their life and take care of them and love them just like I love their mother. I'm hoping that after today that I will get my family back. But if not, I'm going to deal with the consequences and still be there for the three, no matter what.
Tatiana, why are you here?
Steve, I'm here to find out if Chris abused my nephew.
And what happened that makes you think that he abused him?
Well, my oldest sister and my sister Tina went to take a walk to the store. It was really cold outside. We all thought that Chris was a good man. So we figured, okay, let's leave the kids with Chris. So when they got back from the store, Chris was all frantic. Oh, he had to tell Tina something. The baby fell out in a tantrum. He was trying to keep him quiet.
How old was the baby at the time?
The baby was 2 years old and one was 10 months. The baby fell out in a tantrum. He was trying to keep him quiet. And he was shushing him, and he put a sippy cup in his mouth and accidentally bust his lip. I'm a mother. You have to shove that sippy cup in his mouth or smack him in his mouth to bust his lip. Ain't no way. So my sister was going to call the cops. She was having a fit. And my older sister told her to calm down, that I think that you're overreacting. He haven't been around kids. Maybe it was an accident. So she thought about forgiving him. They've been together for a year and a half. So we thought, okay, nothing happened in that year and a half, so they was going to do good. So me and my sister decided to take a walk to the store. We was going to leave the kids with Chris. When me and my sister got back from the store, my nephew's lip was busted real bad, to the point that there was blood coming out of his mouth. His teeth was...
The same nephew?
Yes.
And now how old is he now? When this happens?
When this happens, he's like 4 years, about to be 4. And his teeth is pushed in his gums. We brought him to the dentist, and his teeth is dead. They said his teeth was dead. Chris said that my little nephew pushed a box spring that was against the wall onto my oldest nephew.
The 2-year-old pushed a box spring on a 4-year-old?
Yes. And the box spring, I could hold it with my pinky. It's not even heavy. So he either punched my nephew in his lip or threw something at my nephew.
Why would he hit a little kid like that?
I really don't know, but I know 2 months after that, I asked him, did he hit my nephew? He told me no. Then I told him, since you're so in love with my sister, if you hit my nephew, you lying is not going to make it better. You need to tell her the truth. He started crying and told me that he did it.
And have you ever talked to your nephew?
Yes, I did talk to my nephew. He told me that he hit him.
What is your sister? You talked to your sister? What does she believe?
I talked to my sister. My sister don't know what to believe. She really don't.
Is she still dating him, or?
No, she's not. She's taking her son's side. She broke up with him. She told him to take a lie detector test.
Now he's here to take a lie detector test.
Now he's here to take a lie detector test after all this time.
What if he passes?
If he passed the lie detector test, I will apologize. I don't think that he will pass. He told me that he did it. And that's what I believe. I believe my nephew.
Let's bring Chris out.
You told me that you hit my nephew, Chris. You told me that you hit my nephew. I don't believe you. At the table that night, you told me that you hit my nephew. I don't believe you.
I'll tell you about the
Chris, you're a liar.
Second of all,
you're a liar. All you do is think about Tina. You're trying to be daddy. You're trying to play daddy. Because you're trying to get close to Tina. I don't believe you. He gets so mad, one day he punched the wall. His whole arm was broken because he got mad at me.
But I'm not like that.
Are you crazy? I swear to God. You apologize.
And we asked him, did you hit Tina's son on the day the mattress fell? He said, no, mattress hit. What do you think your testimony was? 2 years ago this happened. The boy ended up with a bloody mouth, right?
Yes.
What happened?
I was upstairs. I heard a boom. I came downstairs. After that, I brought him upstairs. He was dropping down on the floor, having a temper tantrum.
He's 2 months. He's 2 years old.
Yeah. So at the same time, I got mad and I said, stop doing that. As I was hushing him up, I happened to be a little too harsh on him.
And you had too hard.
Yeah, I was a little too harsh on him. Then when
did you feel uncomfortable that this isn't even your child?
Yeah, I did. And then after that, when she came home, I went straight down there and confronted her about it. Because I take that in high consideration with kids. I love kids. I was sad about it. I was scared. You know what I mean?
Why were you scared?
Because I never been through that transaction. And I'm not like that. That's not my lifestyle.
Chris, I don't even
I confronted my son's mother when she got home.
But then she said, hey, I want you to take a lie detector test.
Yeah, and at the same time, when she said that, I was willing to do that.
And you didn't?
And I would say, I'm going to pay for it out of my pocket and do it. Why should we do it nationwide? Because people, you know, nobody need to be in our business.
Exactly.
And then at the same time, she was with somebody, and that hurt me so bad where I was depressed. You know, I messed up. You know, I admit to my wrongs, and I lost everything I ever had, my family.
And you broke up, right?
Yeah, we broke up.
After the first incident?
Yes.
Okay, so you've been broken up for 2 years now. So the second time, now the kid's 4 years old, and he gets a busted mouth again.
I cleaned out me and my ex-fiance room. I had the box spring against the wall. I left the boys to play in the room, whatever. I was in the kitchen listening to the music, and cleaned out the kitchen. After I was trying to get the house ready, have a nice hot meal for us all so we could eat like a family, watch movies. All of a sudden I heard a scream. He comes out with his hands in his mouth. You know what I mean? He pulled his hand off his mouth. I saw blood. I got scared and I panicked. You know?
Why?
Because I didn't know what happened.
I don't know who listens to music and clean
And
up
at the
while
same
kids are in the
time,
back room by themselves.
I catered to him and whatever. As a stepfather, I'm supposed to be to him.
But you were scared and nervous because he had a bloody mouth.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, snap, she going to blame this on me. And
Did you hit him in the mouth?
No, I didn't, sir. I'm not like that.
But if you fail it, it means you're beating up little
And if
kids.
you fail it, you're going to jail.
But you feel pretty confident that you're going to tell the truth, right?
Yeah, I just want to tell nothing but the truth.
Right. And you want Tina back.
I do, but if it's in God's will. But if she made that decision not to take me back, that's something I have to deal with.
Okay. Well, let's meet your sister Tina.
First of all, when I came home, you were washing dishes. Why was you washing dishes? If you panicked, why didn't you call an ambulance?
And nobody
when
wanted to
my other child get hurt, you rushed to the hospital. Why didn't you run for that one?
I did. I was
no, you did
outside
not.
knocking
No,
on
you
the
did
door.
not.
Yes, I did.
I had to bring my child to the hospital. I had to bring my child to the
You brought
hospital.
him late at night.
No, what you mean I brought him late at night? I brought my child to the hospital. What are you talking about?
What you call it? I was trying to get somebody to so I
You
could
know
get the
what?
phone call.
You sound really sick.
I did.
You were catering to them dishes. That's what you were
No, I catered to him.
And you were doing
He wasn't there.
You were doing dishes for her when she was seeing somebody else.
No. I was catering to my stepson.
Catering to him, Chris? Catering to him?
Do you love
You
this
should have
guy?
given him help.
Do you love this
I have
guy?
love for him.
Do you want him back?
It's been so long. I don't think so. I don't know. He took too long to take this test. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
2 years is a long time.
It's not about him loving me. It's about my son.
Do you think he's capable of beating up kids?
I don't want to believe it, but when you talk to him, he cracks under pressure.
I think
he gets so mad. One day he punched the wall. His whole arm was broken because he got mad at me.
If he passes this lie detector test, because maybe he does pass, would you take him back?
I can't say. I mean, I don't know. It's been too long. I don't know. My heart might change.
When's
Who
the
knows?
last time you were with him?
You mean with him, like as far as dating him?
Sexual.
3 years.
Oh, it's been that long.
yeah.
Has it been that long?
8 or 9 months.
8 or 9
You're a
months.
liar. You're a liar. You're a liar.
With those 3 years, we
You're
was
a
doing
liar.
something.
You're a liar.
Yes, we have.
Let's get to the
We
lie
have
detector.
did. We have did something with those 3 years.
In your dreams.
We have done something. You don't remember. We have done
In your
something.
dreams. In your dreams. In your dreams. Maybe
You bugged out. You want to do something. You're obsessed with my sister. You want to do something. You're bugged
We
out.
have. You don't remember. It's not even about that.
When you were hitting that wall, you probably didn't mean to hit it hard enough to break your own hand, right?
I didn't expect to break my hand at all.
Right. You wouldn't want to do that, right?
No.
Couldn't you have used maybe a little more force than you thought on a little boy and cracked his mouth open?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't hit him hard like that.
But you did hit him.
I was a little harsh. I was a little too harsh, and I confronted her when she came home.
I mean, you're a big guy.
Oh, my God.
And we asked him, did you hit Tina's son on the day the mattress fell? You said no. The mattress hit him. Did you cause those injuries to Tina's son's lip and teeth by hitting him on the day the mattress fell? And you said no. Have you ever hit Tina's son with excessive force and injury?
No.
You said no. What do you think your test came back as? Have you ever hit Tina's son with excessive force and injury?
No.
You said no. What do you think your test came back as?
Bad.
No. You failed everyone.
Oh my God!
You're going to jail, Chris.
I'm going to jail.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. You're going to get it. You're going to jail.
Listen, can I say
You
something,
better be
please?
playing, baby.
No, you can't
That's what
say
you better be doing. That's what you better be saying.
What? How many times did we give you the test?
2 times.
2 times.
What can I?
And you failed it 2 times.
Oh, my God.
How did I fail? I wasn't.
Hold on.
You get it. You get it. You crazy. You crazy. Something wrong with you. You
I'm being honest. When I was in the kitchen cleaning up, he was in the room with his son. And then all of a sudden he started screaming. I was in there.
Hey, you know what?
We can do it again.
Hold on. And I think about, like, how it is to be tough.
Like that.
How it is to be tough guy with a little kid.
I'm not no tough guy.
I'm going to show you, you 2-year-old. I'm going to show you, you 4-year-old. Bam!
I did not do that.
It's easy to be tough with kids, right?
I did not.
It's easy to be tough with kids.
Do the test again.
Do it again and what? And what? Hope and pray that the results are different? No. Beating up little kids.
I understand what you're saying, sir. But
you understand? You understand?
I was in the room with him when he got hurt.
You know what?
I was in the kitchen.
You know what? The greatest thing is now, there's a little boy out there that's 4 years old, and the that punched him twice in the mouth is not going to be around anymore. Get off my stage. The good thing is you broke up with this guy. You haven't been with him. You got your answers today. Take care of your kids. Be careful who you let watch them. Good luck to you.